the thing is like, just to frame this, right? It's a fallout shelter. I mean, that's what we bought, was a fallout shelter. It was built during the Cold War. This thing is reinforced. Like when they brought that 800 amp power in, because we had to bring 3-phase power in. They had to change the transformers because we were sucking all the power from the town. So they literally, and that was crazy. Bro. And so I was like negotiating with the power company, Central Maine Power, and I get them up there and I tell them our vision, get them buyout, like, because it's a company, they're going to negotiate a little bit.
Yeah. Otherwise, we'll put up solar.
Exactly.
We'll put up wind.
So they came in, they put all the new transformers on the pole, and they ran it in the building, and then the electrical company, the electricians who were friends also of us, and they're like, okay, we got to bore through the concrete, and they barely were able to bore through that concrete. I have a what do you call it? A cylinder. Mm-hmm. They took 2 cylinders out of the wall. And he was like, that was so hard because, concrete gets harder as it ages. Yeah. But it is the factory is the town's fallout shelter. Wow. I don't know if I ever told you that.
No,
when you go down the stairs, it says fallout shelter.
Yeah, I have saw that, but I didn't know that was the purpose of the whole building.
Originally, the power company built it, but because it was built during the Cold War, it became the fallout shelter.
Probably a tax break to put the fallout shelter below or something like that.
Probably.
So you added 40 people. How many products? I mean, it's just,
as far as products, I mean, we're adding monthly. Nutrition on the nutritional side, and with our partnership, like in terms of the Jocko products, which have been ridiculously awesome for the masses, along with some of the new stuff we're doing in jiu-jitsu and on the lifestyle end of things, as we grow the vision, and we grow and we bring our message, proliferate our message to the masses. We're providing people with what they want, and what's funny is some of that providing them with what they want is this kind of innate thing. Like we had Charlie Brenneman here, the Spaniard, used to fight in the UFC, big UFC fighter. And he came into the factory yesterday, and he walked in the back door, and he like walked in 10 steps and he stopped. And he's a pretty cerebral guy, Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't get to the top level in the UFC if you're not a cerebral person like that. And he looked at me and he said, hey, Pete, you told me there were no stupid questions, because that's what I always preface everything with. I said, no, shoot. He's like, why do I feel the way I feel? And I was like, well, what do you mean? He's like a little bit shocked and confused. And I said, well, that's because it's natural to feel that way when you haven't seen people building products with their hands in a factory environment. Mm-hmm. We've only heard about it through the television or books, because it all has gone away. In our generation, we're about the same age. We didn't see it, maybe when we were kids, as it was just leaving. And he was just like, man, this is just incredible. Just couldn't wrap his head around it. And he was just wandering around that factory up and down like, holy cow, man, this is... And once you see it, you feel it. It's a physical change. It's like when you have, and this might be excessive, but when you have your first child and you see your child, there's like this chemical reaction. Man, when you walk into a factory where there is people working with their hands and working together to bring this thing to life, it's bringing something to life in a different way, in another parallel. So it's awesome to see.